to 4. Wrapping up the big.
Keep it steady 'cause you win and you lose some. I've been running since the day I was born. I'm still working on my style and that new song that I started when you first came.
How's it going, ladies? I'm Brandon.
I'm Gwen.
And welcome back to Broken Hearted Cast, where we talk about life, the universe, everything in between. This month is really special to us, well, especially to me. So what are we going to talk about?
Today we're going to be talking about Cerebral Palsy Awareness Month.
Oh, which is...
The month of March.
Okay.
And the National Day is March 25th, so that's probably when this is going up.
Which I apologize for having us not talk about it earlier this month.
Yeah. Well, it's good we didn't miss the day.
Yeah, exactly.
So we can still get it up on the day.
Yeah, the beginning of the month was crazy for us because of Podfest and everything else like that. So I apologize. So, you want to tell us how it got started?
Yeah, so it actually got started in 2005 when some people realized that there was really no federal funding for cerebral palsy research, as well as no national day or month dedicated to the disability. So this group of people went to the, I believe, senator at the time, of Georgia.
Okay, I was
which is where they were headquartered.
Which state?
To ask for help, and his staff, along with another senator, the senator of Pennsylvania, and also the National Cerebral Palsy. So they actually got help from the senator of Georgia as well as the senator from Pennsylvania to get Cerebral Palsy Awareness Day to be March 25th.
Oh, nice.
And it's been celebrated as that ever since. And they also had a very successful campaign for the catchphrase "Go Green for CP," which is why the green ribbon, the color green, is associated with Cerebral Palsy Awareness Month. And UK?
Yeah, it's just like that thing of go green for CP. It's just like a lot of people will probably mistake that as go green for the Earth or something like that.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. Well, Earth Day is coming up.
Yeah, it is.
So yeah, it kind of goes together, I guess.
Kind of goes shoulder and shoulder. Kind of goes shoulder for shoulder. Because, people that have the disability can't really use their hands that much.
Yeah.
Depends on, how bad it affects the person.
Yeah. So yeah, that's, now, I actually have a different thing talking about the day, saying that it looks like this, well, actually, no. They added a couple other senators, like the senator of New Hampshire, I think it's the only one they added, that also helped out. And this other article states that it was actually 2006.
Oh. So
it started. So it's around the 2006, 2005.
It's either 10 years ago or 9 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
No. 15 or 14.
Yeah.
You're up by 5.
I'm sorry.
I thought that sounded right, but then I was like, wait a second.
Yeah, I was like...
No, it doesn't.
My bad. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. So yeah, that's our little brief history of the
month/day.
Yeah, it's just I know there's been different walks, fundraiser walks, charities, things like that that pushed for March 25th or all the month of March to raise money for research for cerebral palsy. So I guess I'll go on to talk about the brief history of the disability itself. Yeah. Because, what's it knowing about how the awareness day started when we don't put awareness out there ourselves?
Right. And if you see me out and about, you can tell, how I am, how bad it affects me. So yeah, I'm kind of a good example, I guess you can say. Yeah. But yeah, continue.
So cerebral palsy was, according to historical documents, Dr. John Littles is recognized as the first person to study cerebral palsy and define it in 1853. So kind of recent when you think about it.
Yeah, in the past 200 years.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of...
Yeah. It's kind of... Yeah.
Like, wow. I mean, it would have been more recent if it was, like, the 1950s, but...
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's a pretty... No wonder there hasn't really been any... I guess you can say, like, any improvement about, like... where the cure is and like how it could be treated and stuff like that.
Yeah, because I mean back in the 1800s people believed in some crazy
stuff. Yeah,
remedies and things like that.
Snake oils are not cures, don't believe it.
Yeah, don't believe that. So Dr. Little's cerebral palsy work began in the 1830s when he started giving lectures on how birth injuries can greatly impact children. He attempted to correlate oxygen loss and the brain damage to cerebral palsy.
Yeah, that's what happened to me.
Yeah, like he was right. Like he hit the nail on the head. Like, a lot of times when people start thinking of the reason why something happens, they're like kind of right, like a little tiny bit right.
I know you're gonna ask me.
The rest of it wrong, and this guy just straight on was like, "Oh, it's probably oxygen loss," and it's like, "Whoa, dang, dude, you got it perfect."
Which there is oxygen therapies on Cincy right now, but I don't know what this virus going on. If I'm able to go down there and make an appointment or anything else like that.
Yeah, you may need to wait.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to wait.
Yeah, because it's not like a life or death thing.
Yeah, no, I know I want to stay with it for all. I want to have it for all my life, but it's just that thing of like to loosen up just a little bit. Well, it would be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, continue. I know you're gonna ask me questions. You okay?
Yeah, I'm reading ahead. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask you questions. So throughout the years, like, he basically just needed to try and prove to people that, like, his findings were fact. Yeah. People didn't really want to believe him, it seems, because, like, 30 years later, he presented research to the Obstetrical Society of London, where he provided the first, definition of cerebral palsy. I mean, I don't know how old this guy was when he discovered and like coined like the word cerebral palsy. That happened in 1953. He started his research in the 1853. He started his research in the 1830s, and he kept researching it like 50 years later. So like even if he was 20, like that would have made him like 70, 80, like when he was doing his research, like still like pushing for treatments and things like that. So yeah, that's about all the information I have on that. So
are you gonna say the page?
Yeah, this is cerebralpalsyguidance.com.
I was gonna say save the page, but yeah.
Sorry. And the other pages I read from is the pediatricbrainfoundation.org.
And what was the other one? The Mighty or something like that?
Yeah, themighty.com.
Okay.
And then once again, that first one is also a .com, the Cerebral Palsy Guidance.
Okay.
So yeah, I guess we'll go into the
ad break? The
ad break, and then I'll ask you some questions.
Oh, that you already have written out? Mm-hmm. Well, typed out.
Let's just go to ad.
Yeah, let's just go to...
He's better at talking.
Is he though?
Is he though?
Is he really?
No.
Alright, let's just go to the ad universe. Or ad dimension. No, we'll figure it out later. That's a problem for future Brandon. Well, welcome to the ad dimension. It's your favorite host, Brandon, here coming at you. And we don't really have that much ads to go through today, so this is gonna be like really quick. First off, talking about the cerebral palsy thing, I've struggled with it my entire life. Gwen's gonna, after the break, she's gonna ask me some questions about what it was like growing up and everything else like that. Like, so we're gonna focus more on that later, especially if you're really interested in my side of the story on this whole situation and this whole timeouts and everything else like that. Stay tuned for that. It's gonna probably be a tearjerker. Yeah, knowing me, I want to tear up. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Also, we got a Patreon right now, so go and donate however much you want. You can donate a penny to like however much. So that also, you get free cool content if you donate however much. Like, you can get like free podcast episodes, or free merch, or whatever else like that. So we're still working on the merch, but we're definitely like gonna have content for you lovelies to pay for, to help us out and to get free stuff out of it, I guess you can say. And that also, talking more about the Cerebral Palsy, go and donate today, please. It is a really weird disability that we don't really know quite a whole lot about. Like, we know like 90% of it, but we don't have really a cure. And how technically to do therapy right now, the best we got is do oxygen therapy and having it stimulate different parts of the brain and stuff like that. So, like, for me, I struggle with the Cerebral Palsy affects my right side and completely, like the right side of my body. So, like, my right leg, my right arm, especially if you meet me like out in different cons and stuff like that. And that's why I also have the speech impediment and stuff like that affects my speech. That is why. So please donate today, no matter how much. Like, find a good charity for Cerebral Palsy, or donate however much you want. And also, especially for this new virus that's going around, please donate everything that you can. Also, stay at home. Now, just don't interact with a lot of people. If you have to go outside, just don't interact. Be like a complete introvert while you're going outside. Even wear earbuds and like make sure you're not around anybody. So then also, we don't have con watch going on right now because of this whole thing that's going on. So stay tuned. Hopefully we can go back to cons here soon. We're still hoping to go to Indie PopCon, which is July 10th through the 12th, and Matsuri, that's in August, and also OhioCon, which is in January. So it should be good by then to go to at least OhioCon. So because we also we go to Indie PopCon and to OhioCon every single year. Then also for Matsuri, that's going to be taking place in August. That is going to be in the Columbus Convention Center. We always go to that, but this year we're not going to pay for a pass, so we're just going to chill out, walk around. We might bring the Switch, and you lovely can play Animal Crossing with us. I mean, like, might as well. But yeah, so I guess go back to normal, Gwen and I. She's gonna ask me some questions about what my thoughts are and how it is like with me growing up and living with Cerebral Palsy. So yeah. Also, for those lovelies who are wondering, I struggle with a mild case, so I don't have it as bad as everybody else. I'm not trying to put myself on a pedestal. I'm just like stating like, yeah, I do have it. I do struggle with it, and this is like gonna be my side of the whole entire story. So, but yeah, back to us. Oh yeah, also one last thing before I actually do officially switch back to us is that if you want to be shouted out on the channel on this podcast or whatever, like if you want to be like have something in Animal Crossing, or like if we're playing a game, if you want to have something named after you or whatever, go and comment down below any other videos and you'll be shouted out either on the podcast or whatever. And yeah, free chance to get shouted out by a YouTuber that you watch or a podcast that you listen to. Do it. That's all you have to do is go to our YouTube channel, Broken Hearted Gaming and Broken Hearted Studios on YouTube, and that way you can just type in Broken Hearted Cast on YouTube. It should be like one of the first results. But yeah, just go and comment down below and you get a chance to get shouted out. So yeah. Now it's time to go back to normal us. So my bad.
Time for something.
Alright, so we're back from the ad dimension.
Great ad. I wasn't here for it.
Yeah, I know you wasn't. You was talking with your mom.
Yeah, I was on the phone because I had a bit of an anxiety attack because she just like left a message and like called me. Like,
On Apple, what you can do after someone leaves a voicemail, you can click on the person's name and it will like transcribe.
No, it transcribed it after I clicked on it, but like I didn't want to play it on the recording.
Yeah.
Just in case it was something serious, like I was gonna go out and listen to it, and if it was serious, come back in here and get you.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's fine. She just needs to buy toilet paper and was making sure we heard about the...
I mean, that's serious enough.
Yeah. As of recording this, tomorrow night, people aren't really supposed to leave their houses. Like, legally, an ordinance was put into place, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good thing that we have Animal Crossing.
Yep.
And
good thing we work at a private office that only we go into, because if we worked at like a recording studio that had multiple studios in it, we probably would have gotten shut down and not being able to record. Yeah. So that's a blessing.
Thank God for YouTube.
Yeah.
And anybody that listens to anything, like if you're listening to us on any platform,
yeah.
Thank goodness for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna be listening to a lot of podcasts.
Yeah.
And a lot of Minecraft.
Yeah, and a lot of Animal Crossing.
Yeah, I really want to play Minecraft, but that's not the topic of today. The topic is cerebral palsy.
Yeah.
So I have some questions for you.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
I'd like to discuss. What is it
I'm gonna
like?
stare at my dude right in the eyes.
So what is it like to have cerebral palsy?
What is it like being normal?
Well, okay, like here, a normal half your body. You have it in the right half, correct?
Yes.
And it's what a lot of people consider a mild case. I would consider yours a normal case because I've seen people who you can barely tell they have it.
Yeah.
Well,
the thing is, whenever I was diagnosed when I was a baby, I can't remember anything of it because I was literally after I was born. I don't have that good of a memory, unlike some people. But yeah, no, like my condition's so closer to the normal quote unquote status than it is to the worst status.
Yes, exactly, and that's what I mean by like I wouldn't say yours is mild because I've seen people who have it a lot milder than you.
Mine is more like right smack dab in the middle. Yeah,
you are not. You're mild in the case of like you can drive a car, you can do everyday activities, you can function by yourself. You don't need like a nurse or an aide to like help you get through the day.
Depends on what I'm doing during the day.
You can go to the fridge and open it and get something to eat and drink. It's difficult, but you can physically do it. Yeah. You're not paralyzed basically from the neck down. Yeah. I know there are people out there who have it in basically their whole body and they, but yeah, that's more what I'm just like asking is like, you understand what it's like to function with your left half. Yes. How does that differ from your right half?
I can move my arm. Can't really move my wrist. My wrist and my hand and my fingers all have the mind of its own, as I like to say. Well, so does my whole entire arm, but I can move my arm easier than I can move everything else. Yeah. And just like my leg, like I can move my leg easily, but there will be times where I can walk where it will just spasm like really bad and I have to walk with a limp. Funny story, my CP likes to act up, especially like when I was back in high school, like it would love to act up around people that I had a crush on.
Oh no.
So yeah.
Would people be able to go, oh, do you have a crush on so and so and things like that? Yeah. People tease you about it. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Kind of just got used to it.
You could just tell them like, no, it spasms around people I hate.
And that would have been a good one to do.
Or just it spasms around people that I think are cool.
Yeah, if I can be like Sharon, turn back time, I'll tell myself that, but
yeah,
I can't. So
yeah,
at least
I wonder if it has
science hasn't gotten to that point yet.
I want, if we had the technology to turn back time, I think we would be able to have the technology to help aid cerebral palsy. You would hope that if we had that advanced kind of technology. Yeah,
I'll be chilling beside the doctor that you was like mentioning in like the face. I was just be like, "Sup, man."
I was cured, or I was treated.
Well,
which that is something. I did some research. I don't remember what website I got it from. This was this was a year and a half ago. It was.
Yeah, that's whenever you started like stalking me on Facebook and everything else like that.
No, that was not when I started stalking. I had only just found out that that's what you had. That's what your condition was. It wasn't the first time I found out, but I had been talking to you, and I was kind of like, I wonder if there's like a cure for it or any treatment for it. And so I started doing some research because I was interested.
Yeah.
And that's when I found out that there is no cure.
Yeah.
There are treatments to help. So people who do have extremely mild cases, they may be able to go through treatment to help them be able to have more function over their muscles.
Yeah.
And their, that part of their body that is affected by it.
I had some doctors tell me that I need a CPAP whenever I sleep, like to adjust my oxygen levels and stuff like that.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was about to say, I don't see why that would help, but yeah, I guess that would help.
Even just like carry on like oxygen like tanks and stuff like that. Like
to be put on mild oxygen, yeah. Well, here's the thing. From what I heard from my mom, who was a maternity nurse, she was somebody who helped in the delivery room. Cerebral palsy is caused by oxygen loss in the womb.
Yeah.
So unless they can get that baby oxygen, like right then and there, basically what it does is it damages the development of the brain.
Yeah.
It makes the brain not develop correctly. So unless you get that baby on oxygen, like immediately, like there's really no way to reverse that kind of damage.
Yeah.
Kind of like how people who get oxygen damage, like people who succumb to asphyxiation and things like that, but survive it, they can end up being or drowning victims who survive.
Yeah. I think that's why I like the superheroes I do like Deadpool and Venom and stuff like that, because they deal with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but people who basically, even as adults, when oxygen damage is very permanent, you can't usually cure it. I know people who have started drowning. It's something like after a certain amount of seconds, you start losing brain function because of the lack of oxygen to your brain, and that causes permanent damage. And some people will be I don't know if this is still medically a term, but diagnosed as retarded. Yeah. Because their brain doesn't
can't function the
same. They can't do a lot of people have to relearn how to do a lot of stuff and even talk. But yeah, so there is no cure, but there are treatments. I didn't really look into the treatments that there are, but they can work.
There are a lot of oxygen-based type therapies.
I heard a lot of it was just physical therapy.
Yeah, which I did physical therapy up until junior high, and then afterwards, my parents didn't really feel like taking me, and
that's awful.
Was kind of just whatever. That, and also I didn't want to, going through junior high and high school, you didn't want, especially a person like me, you didn't want to be the guy, to call at me, you're going to physical therapy because of your disability and stuff like that.
Yeah, because in school, there's two different kinds of school settings you're going to be in. Either your school, all the kids are going to be very supportive and loving and kind to you.
Yeah.
Because of your disability and because of your treatments and you having to be absent. And then there's the other setting where it sounds like you were probably in, which we'll talk more about that later, but the setting where people just use that as a way to bully.
Yeah, mine was a blend of those two kinds.
Yeah, and there can be blends, but when you're actually being subjected to it, I feel like it generally will feel like one or the other.
Yeah. But yeah.
So yeah, what can you describe what it I guess feels like? I guess when you're not having a spasm, it just doesn't really feel like anything.
Well, when I'm having a spasm, it hurts.
Well, yeah, but like what I'm saying is like, if you're not spasming, does it just feel?
Like this feels like how you would normally feel just moving your arms.
So when your arm just starts moving without you controlling it, like it just feels like you're moving it.
Yeah.
Was that kind of a hard thing to get used to? That sensation of like you're not trying to move this body part, but it's moving.
Yeah, it's irritating.
Yeah, I'd imagine it would be.
Yeah, especially when I feel like you're trying to sleep or like anything else like that. Like if you're just trying to get comfortable, it's just like decided to be like, I want to move now. It's just like
punched me. You socked me in the nose like probably a dozen times now.
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. I'm just saying, like, giving that as an example of, like, you don't mean to sock me in the nose. Your hand will. I even flipped
you off tons.
I don't even notice it anymore. I don't even notice it anymore. But it's funny. You'll sock me right in the nose, and I'll laugh because I know you don't mean to sock me in the nose. It's just your hand goes.
I still feel so bad.
You smack me right in the face.
But yeah, besides that, like, besides spasming, like, it just feels like I'm just moving it without, that actual awareness of it.
Does it feel like what does it feel like? You said it hurts, but, like, there are different kinds of pain. Would you describe it as, like, a Charlie horse kind of pain? Where, like, whenever I have a Charlie horse, I get them very severe, but I lose control of my legs. Yeah. Because my instincts pop in and go, if you move your leg, it's gonna hurt. So I'm not gonna let you move your leg. And I'm like, body, I need to move my leg so I can make it stop hurting. And it's like, no, it's gonna hurt worse. Yeah. Like, but only for a second, and then it'll feel better. Yeah,
that's kind of how it feels like. That nausea mix blended with a muscle being pulled.
That's kind of what Charlie horse is, like your muscle getting, like, or it's more your nerves getting pulled, but yeah, like it is like pulling a muscle.
Yeah, it's kind of like the blend of that.
Yeah, which that's another thing I remember when we first really started talking, right before we started dating, we would talk a lot about like how your CP acts up and hurts you, and how my legs hurt me, and be able to associate with that. So.
Especially like whenever like there would be times like where like it would hurt so bad like I can't stand it. Yeah. Like, but now I just, especially like whenever like it hurts so bad, I just kind of have to deal with it and just like focus on like whatever I'm focusing on. That's why I edit a lot. And that's why I play games a lot, because like it takes my mind off of it.
Yeah, I definitely feel that a lot with my condition. When my legs will act up more, I just need to do stuff to take my mind off of it.
Yeah, that's why I love Star Wars so much, because it, it has a lot of like people with disabilities in it. Mm-hmm. So that and also like the whole like having stuff like used through the Force, I guess, is like a cool thing. Like especially for people that have disability like me, and people that have disabilities that is kind of like Cerebral Palsy, that they can't really like have a lot of oxygen going through the brain. I think that's why they pull towards more Star Wars and Star Trek. It's because they can like be like, man, that'd be so awesome to have.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, there's that controlledness of it.
Yeah, and I know some people with those kind of disabilities do also get pulled to Star Trek, but just like more Next Generation, because at the period in time that Next Generation takes place, people don't even get headaches anymore. They don't get allergies.
Yeah, I get headaches all the time.
They just get a little shot that you don't even feel. And so, like, I remember one episode, I don't know if you've gotten to it yet, but one of the characters is getting these throbbing, painful
Picard is.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure. I didn't know if you got to it yet, so I didn't want to spoil it.
Then also Troy gets them, but, like, with a music box, too.
Yeah, but, like, he's getting these extremely painful headaches where his vision's going blurry. It's so bad, and the doctor's like, you shouldn't be everybody's like, you shouldn't be getting headaches anymore. Nobody's had a headache in 100 years. Yeah, and it's that kind of, or 50 years, and it's that kind of thing where it's like, oh, like if to think like with your disability, people born in that time period wouldn't even have to worry about that.
That's why I'm like loving Next Generation so far.
Because all you would need is to get a shot and your headaches would be gone. All you need is to get a shot and you'd get control of your muscles again.
I think that's why also a lot of people with disabilities love the Forge so much because he's he's a blind character, but yeah, he can see in different like arrays of colors and stuff like that. So he can
go on.
Technically see normally.
Yeah, he's able to see based off of the use of a computer, which we're starting to try and get to that.
Which we've seen at Podfest.
Yeah, they were able to help somebody see by sending electrical stimuli to their tongue.
Yeah.
To show them what they were looking at.
Yeah, that also.
They would send basically electrical messages up into the person's brain through their tongue.
Yeah.
To help them see, which is crazy to think about.
Which also another side note is that like especially during the Podfest, where they started talking about people that are paralyzed in their legs and stuff like that being able to walk because they're putting computer chips in their legs and sending it to a machine to their brain to being able to walk. Yeah. Yeah,
that's crazy.
That was especially emotional for me because of my leg.
Yeah. But yeah, going on to the next question I have for you. What was it like growing up?
Sucked.
Yeah, I'd imagine it would.
I didn't really hang out with anybody until I was in high school. Like, I had a friend that lived a couple doors down, and we would hang out whenever it was nice outside, but it wasn't for, like, long periods of times.
Yeah.
And so, like, then, like, especially in elementary school and stuff like that, like, I had friends, but there was kind of, like, those friends that, like, only hang out with me and, like, only talk with me because, like, one, I feel like that they kind of felt bad for me, and then also, like, I feel like I was kind of like the class clown. So there was just like, cool, this guy's like kind of chill.
Yeah.
Let's go hang out with him. And then moving on to junior high, moving on to 6th grade, I only had like a handful of friends.
Yeah.
And like, I don't really like talking about 6th grade because that's when I was like struggling with my disability and like struggling with school and like everything else like that. Like, it really hit me hard.
Yeah. It
made me like fall into very deep depression. And besides that, like, growing up with it, I should say that it sucked, but yet it did have its advantages. Like, I was also being the baby of the family. I got babied a lot.
Yeah.
So like, I had a whole bunch of game stations and stuff like that, just to like keep my mind off of it. And even though like my parents would argue and stuff like that, like I would try to like distract myself from like both that and also my disability and like just the whole entire world. And that's why I kind of got sucked into pop culture majorly. Like that's why I loved a whole bunch of like 80s movies like Ghostbusters and Blues Brothers, which I just now recently showed you.
Yeah.
And like music in general is because like I see these like amazing characters up on the screen. It's just like, man, I wish I had like a life like that. Especially with Indiana Jones.
Yeah. Same. Oh my gosh. I constantly wished I had a life like Indiana Jones when I was little. I don't think I've really ever told anybody that, but like I would like daydream about like going into these like old ruins and finding treasure and like,
same
artifacts and like that kind of stuff always interests me. And yeah.
But yeah, then also Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not just because my last name is Walkie.
It's appropriate.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah. So it was
then also, especially for like kids nowadays that are struggling with it, like they have it easier than we have it. Then I had it, because like they have new technologies. They have like a friendlier base society. Yeah. I guess you can say.
Somewhat, yeah.
But yeah, as I was saying, was they kind of have it nicer than the like way we had, like especially the way I grew up, is because they have new technologies. They got new ways to both distract themselves and also get therapy that they needed.
Yeah, there is definitely been, it sounds like, new therapies and things like that have been introduced in the past.
Because whenever I was growing up, like the only thing that was like kind of available to us close by was physical therapy.
Yeah. Well, you also grew up. I mean, it's also something I have to get used to understanding is you're half an hour away from Dayton. And
yeah. I went to Dayton Children's a lot when I was a kid.
Yeah. But still, like, you're not extremely close to, like, all these medical, like specialty places. I grew up 2 miles from the shoe in Columbus, and it's like I could walk there. It's kind of like I have a ton of specialty practice stuff there, right? Like 10 minutes away.
Yeah,
5-10 minutes away, and it's kind of like
then
hard
for me
to think like, oh, you'd have to, like, as a little kid drive like super far away, or not super far away, but like half an hour, or that you wouldn't have those things available at all. Yeah,
like whenever I was going to Dayton Children's, it seemed like to me at the time, and also right now, that I was like one of the first. I was like a handful of patients that they was testing cerebral palsy with.
Yeah, because
down there.
It doesn't seem like a lot of people. It's not something that like a lot of people get. It's kind of a chance thing.
Yeah, so like I remember, like as a kid, like even doctors being like, "What if we like switch the tendons from like the bottom of your wrist to the top of your wrist? Like, would that fix anything, or like anything else like that?" And because like they were still experimenting, like not really understanding like why people have cerebral palsy. So
yeah, it's kind of like they were treating you like a lab rat.
Yeah.
Or guinea pig. Like it's kind of like, well, here's this kid who has it. Let's see if this fixes it. And it's kind of like that's kind of a hard thing because kids can't really give consent.
Yeah, that's why I was always, whenever like that topic would like come up, like I was me to be like, no, that's no. Yeah. Not gonna cut me open, switch something that's not gonna probably work.
Yeah, what if it doesn't work?
Yeah.
Because there's I don't see why that would help fix anything
exactly.
other than making your hand spasm in the opposite direction than it normally does. And that might be more painful or more problematic.
Yeah.
Because the other joints aren't supposed to turn that way, It's kind of like they wanted to switch your hand and put it on backwards. It's kind of like, I don't see how that would have helped.
It would have been easy just to cut off my arm.
Well, it may not have been easier in life.
Yeah, but still.
But yeah. So yeah, it seems like it was extremely hard and difficult growing up with a disability like that. Did you find yourself missing out on
yes
a lot of like school events, or I know you went to church, so church events, school events?
Yeah. Also, growing up with disability, like I became very introverted because I missed out a lot of stuff. That also never really hang out with friends. So I became very socially awkward and very introverted. And around my family, I tried to not seem like that as much. Like even now, like my dad like still posts on Facebook like old pictures and like videos of me. I was like, oh, this was Brandon back when he was go-getting. It's just like, I was never like that though because of what I was struggling with. It
backfired, it seems like.
Yeah.
You pretending to be more go-getting towards your parents, people you were comfortable talking to, and what you were less awkward with,
Yeah.
You gave them the wrong impression of how you actually were around other people.
Right. And that's why now that I'm older, and it's just now I'm trying to like actually make a name of myself. It's kind of, I feel like it's hitting them hard to be like, how come you're like this now, not back then?
Yeah.
Like, was you faking it the whole entire time and stuff like that?
Yeah, I think it is just kind of hard for them to think like maybe he wasn't really that confident. I think that's what it is. I think it's hard for them. I mean, it's hard for any parent to think that their child is alone or doesn't have anybody or doesn't talk to people. So my mom's tried to force me to make friends a lot because of how introverted and socially awkward I am.
Yeah.
And I can tell it hurts her when I don't interact with other people because she wants me to be happy and not uncomfortable talking to people.
Especially now, like, whenever after I graduated, because like one of it is in college, which that was literally one of the first questions I asked like one of the professors is like, do you personally think I can do this with one hand? And he goes, yes, you can. And that's what pushed me to do a podcast on the radio and stuff like that, which I was the DJ for ICB Radio on TuneIn for the longest time on their Dating Universe, playing all the hits across the universe. That was my tagline.
Yeah.
And then because like one of you in the booth really doing a podcast or making a game video on YouTube or doing radio and stuff like that, like you are talking to a mic, you're in a lot of the time you're in a room by yourself, or you're talking with a really close friend or lover or partner, and that's it. There's nobody else in the room, but you have to act like that you're talking to somebody over in the microphone.
Yeah.
Which that made it really easy for me to be more outgoing and like just pushing myself to be like more outspoken, stuff like that. Like that's why like when I would do the podcast, like, my mind automatically switches to the radio personality.
Yeah. When I first wanted to do YouTube, I was very inspired by YouTube gamers and things like that. So even just playing games on my own, I would do little like monologues and little like I would talk as if I was recording, because like it made it feel like I was playing the game with other people, even though nobody else was there.
Which I did that a lot as a kid, and like still today, even when we in between recording sessions, I still do that. Yeah,
like I instead of saying, okay, now I have to go do this thing, I would say we and things like that.
Yeah.
I still kind of do that in video games.
That's why, like, even like now, like this entire like channel, that's why my character will always like, I would always position the character to look back at me, look back at the viewer now. So it makes them feel like that, yeah, I'm playing the game with them. Yeah. Well, I'm like experiencing this with that into game character here. Yeah. Type of thing, so.
But yeah.
Sorry that we got a little off track.
It was a little bit off track, but yeah, I think it is the reason why your relatives don't understand why you're acting different now. I think it is just that thing of they don't want to come to the like kind of sad for a parent realization of, oh, my child wasn't a go-getter, my child wasn't a suave, talkative, extroverted
ladies man,
he was awkward, and most people are awkward, so but that's a hard thing for parents to really like realize, and it hurts when they think they've kind of built their kid up to be,
especially now, like also going back to the whole college thing, like I have a degree in multimedia, which is like a equivalent to a bachelor's version of a bachelor's communications degree, because I went to like a technical school and stuff like that. It's pretty hard for me to actually go out and like seek work and like connect with people that also work in the same industry, because like they all expect me to like, reach out to them, but it's just that thing of like both my disability and introvertedness is just like I want to, but I can't.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess the last thing I have kind of goes with the growing up and what it's like to have CP, and so like how has it affected you, or how's it like affected your life?
It's a mixed bag.
Yeah.
It's kind of like trail mix. There's some good stuff and there's some bad stuff.
There's that yummy little miniature M&Ms and and caramel bites, and
doing this podcast and stuff like that, like that's those yummy M&Ms.
Yeah, people treating you especially nice because they see that you are disabled. That's the really caramel. That's the really good like cheese crackers that they just sneak in there. Yeah. Why'd they put cheese crackers in a chocolate trail? But yeah,
I didn't specify it was like chocolate and trail mix.
Oh, I did. I said M&Ms.
Oh.
But yeah, like it's kind of like, and then you got, I'm gonna say my least favorite now was just cashews. Then you got the nasty cashews in there.
Man.
I know. I don't know why they make me sick. I like the flavor. They just make me really sick to eat them. I think I might be allergic.
Yeah.
But yeah, then there's like the insert nasty, your least favorite nut.
So, into your least favorite, like, item in trail mix.
Yeah. And for some people, that may just be just trail mix.
Yeah. On that note, like, I guess...
Do you just really like trail mix?
No, hold on. I'm trying to think about, like, a really, like, bad thing that nobody really likes. Asparagus.
What? I love asparagus. Brussels sprouts.
Yeah, Brussels sprouts. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just into, like, Brussels sprouts or something like that. Whatever you don't like.
You got those sweet honey baby carrots.
Yes.
In your life. And then you also got those nasty
asparagus.
Asparagus, because you don't like... Asparagus.
Okay. Especially, like, for those people that seem like that I'm faking. Like, whenever it comes to my disability, like, the people that be like, no, you can do this. It's just like, clearly I can't.
Yeah, you have had people say that you're faking. Not just that you can't. No, oh, no, you can do this. But, like, they think that you're doing, like, these...
Yeah, it's because...
erratic hand movements at will.
Yeah. Like, I had a lot of people still today, like, give me dirty looks and stuff like that. It's just like, I only had one woman, for all my years of driving, going to the store, I only had one woman who was very much, like, little less disabled than I am. Like, she couldn't really walk and stuff like that. Gets up out of her scooter, sees that I'm, like, struggling, like, limping because of my CP acting up, actually, like, stops me and is just like, hey, sir, do you need this? Like, as she's, like, trying to, like, quickly get out of the scooter, I'm like, no, thank you, I should be fine. It only acts up every once in a while.
Yeah, because, I see,
out of, like, the
I've seen people who, like, young people who walked perfectly fine from the car, and I know some people may have fainting disorders and things like that they have to use a scooter. But I've seen people walk, like, some people will come in with their kids, and the person needs a scooter, but their kids don't, but they let their kids get a scooter. And then the kids will look at you, limping, and they'll give you dirty looks. And it's kind of like, you know, I've seen that happen quite a few times, and it's kind of like, you know, that thing of, like, a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people don't, you know, get up. It's, you know, even though they need that thing too, a lot of people don't give their thing up.
It's because, like, a lot of people, even nowadays, from, like, I think, like, the 1920s and up and stuff like that, I'm not trying to quote Chicago, my favorite musical, but, like, nobody really has that class anymore.
Yeah, not all people do. You'll notice a lot of people that do still have that class are generally, like, baby boomers. Yeah. People who were born before the 80s. Yeah. And 70s.
I've had a lot of people that were born in the 80s and 70s till, like, 2000s, like, give high respects.
Really?
Yeah.
Because generally what I've experienced is it's sometimes, I mean, it's kind of like one extreme or the other with baby boomers and things like that. You either have the extremely loving, nice people, or you have there's no way this young, healthy person is more disabled than I am.
Yeah, because
I see that a lot in older people. Yeah. Or even middle-aged people. They'll go, you're 20-something, you're fine. It's kind of like, well, no. Yeah. You're not fine.
Because, like, even the comic guy across the street, he has a lot of kids that have disabilities. So he understands, like, I need to be, like, act this way or, like, stuff like that.
I feel like it's generally only people who deal with others that are disabled
that know how to
that respect other people who are disabled.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think there's a lot of, like, stuff in Troy, like, even the school systems now, because of me going through, it'd be like, yeah, we need to treat people differently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you give if you don't mind, give 2 examples, like one example of how your disability has affected you negatively and a way that it's affected you positively, or you could give a couple of each, or
like, do what Brian Wentz does on his podcast late nights, say 2 goods and 1 bad, I guess.
Sure, if you want to do that.
Yeah, I guess you can say that.
Because if you feel like the bads just kind of keep going on and they're kind of all the same, then yeah, it makes more sense to mention more goods.
Again, like, one of the bad things is I can't really interact with people as good as the next person. Yeah,
I've seen a lot of times when people that don't know you will go to shake your hand. A lot of people are right-handed and you're left-handed.
I've had a military guy say to my face, I will not shake your hand because you're not doing it properly.
Yeah, because it's apparently only proper to shake with your right hand. Which,
yeah.
You know.
I only had that happen once.
That makes me kind of disgusted because it's kind of like a lot of people that go into the military end up disabled. So it's kind of like, hey, buddy, like, what if that was your friend who got his arm blown off? What, he can't shake your hand anymore?
Yeah. And it's
kind of like...
But that only happened once, so... Yeah,
so it's not something that happens all the time, but still, it's kind of like people I've noticed a lot do hang on to those technicalities too much. They don't put wiggle room in for accepting people who are different, not just different culture, but different, like, ability wise. Like
that, and also sorry, I'm trying to move on to finish this up. I'll let you finish though.
Oh, but yeah, like I've experienced some of that with like my ADHD. If people will say, no, you're not allowed to use like a reading helper, or you're not allowed to take audio notes and things like that in classes. Like, you know, I've had people like get very angry at me and say, you're not allowed to read that your own Bible. You have to read this Bible in Bible class because like everybody has to read the same version and your version is different. And it's like, I can't read it. It's too small print.
Yeah.
You know, because I also have major vision problems.
Yeah.
So I need very large print and things like that to read. And you know, I've had people treat me very bad because of that stuff. So I know exactly what that feels like, that people hold on to those technicalities and want to just like go, no, I won't interact with you. I won't talk to you. I won't do this because you can't do it the right way. Yeah,
I've had a lot of people like that. But yeah, moving on, like going along with that, like I had people negatively, I can't really talk to people that also I can't really like and get out and like kind of have fun without people giving me dirty looks, you know, like just stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard for me to do stuff, especially if I really want to do it. That's why I like going to Disney.
Yeah, because I know they have a lot of stuff that you're able to do. And
yeah.
I love the cast members at Disney. They are, I don't know if they are actually like trained to deal with people who are disabled, or
a lot of them are just nice people,
or if a lot of them are just nice people, because I've noticed that like for both of us, when either of us would have our disabilities act up, the cast members would be the nicest, most supportive people.
Yeah.
Like if you would accidentally like elbow somebody, you know, they would be very understanding about it, and you know, things like that. And it was very refreshing compared to going to other places where people kind of give you dirty looks and
stuff like that.
Yeah, treat you like, oh no, it's okay, when really they were not okay with it, kind of thing. It's kind of like, yikes.
But yeah, that, and also like I can't really go out and walk really.
Yeah, I know that's a major thing that you just hate.
Yeah. Because there's like a lot of like places that I know that I can literally apply for right now, but it's just like the thing of like,
yeah, the job, I mean, I've also experienced that the job climate is kind of awful unless you know where to apply. Like if you have to take days to go to doctor's appointments, which I usually do, or back when I was applying, I had to take like every week, or every, you know, couple weeks, I'd have to go to a doctor's office appointment, you know?
Yeah.
So it's that thing of like, if you say you have a disability and that you will probably need to take an extra day off of work or extra half day off just to go to that appointment, they're not going to hire you.
Yeah.
They'd rather hire somebody who is more able-bodied, who can work every single day of the week.
Right. And that's why
and not have to be given special accommodation.
And that's why I feel like going back to my college and like helping out down there is because like they know me, they know how I am, so I got and see if they just need any help with anything. So she like trying to motivate people to do what we do.
Yeah.
And because I'm a really good example.
It could be somebody that speaks at workshops.
Yeah, it could. And
you want to move on to positives?
Yeah, that's what I'm
negatives?
doing.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm done with negatives.
Yeah, we're done with negatives.
2 positives is that, like, I stay at home and I gotta do this work. I'm gonna, like, make jokes and do different stuff like that. And just, like, focus on doing stuff that relaxes me. Like, playing games and, like, editing and stuff like that. And, like, even though it's quote-unquote work, it's still fun. It's still nice and still, like, awesome to do.
Yeah, so that's kind of a big positive, is it's made you a better gamer with one hand than most are with two.
Yeah. I showed up a lot of people with my one hand.
I've watched people that would completely just floor everybody in Super Smash Brothers, and then you'd sit down to play, and they would get so angry because you would just instantly kill them, and it's just kind of like, and they'd be like, how can a person with one hand, do better
this
than me? And it's like,
it's called not being cocky.
It's called mad skills. But yeah, I would say it's made you a lot more talented and skilled in things.
Yeah, like I played
than most people are.
I played the cello back in high school in 6th grade up to my senior year, and like that was a really nice getaway for me. And like I know how to still play it. It's just like tuning it and stuff like that, like replacing the strings is still kind of struggling for me, but man, I would love to play cello again. And moving on to the second last positive thing is that it makes me more connected with people with my disability.
Yeah.
Like, I guess like what I was saying about like my college like a couple minutes ago is I can be a good inspirational person to talk to, like different like at different places like my college, and like give people like examples of like, yeah, if a person with one hand can do this kind of stuff, like you can do this.
Yeah.
Especially a person that like struggles not only with disability but like introvertedness and like this and that, can do the same thing that you are doing or you're trying to do. You have a good possibility of doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you want to add on to?
Yeah, like, I mean, you've definitely inspired me, like, before I started coming over to the office and stuff, I got inspired that, hey, if a person, who also has disabilities and things like that is able to go out and do these things I also want to do, what's stopping me from doing it,
Right.
So yeah, you definitely are very, in a way, like, you're not just inspirational. I feel like it was easier to connect with you because of your disability, because
that's what I meant to say. It was like it's easier.
Yeah, I don't know
connection.
why. I've always connected with people who had some form of disability better than most people would. Most people would usually like kind of steer clear of those people. But not me. Like, I usually would, for some reason, just be able to, I don't know, talk with them easier and stuff like that. And I'm extremely introverted. I don't usually talk to people, but for some reason, like, I don't know, I'm able to connect with those kind of people better.
Then also I just have that easier aura around me.
Yeah, you kind of do.
Yeah, that's another thing. I have that good positive energy around me that be like, that like makes people just feel relaxed and talk about whatever.
Yeah.
Especially if they don't know me well enough to.
Yeah, that, and I've been told that I'm a very like caring, nurturing person, so like that's why a lot of people have told me it seems like it's easier for me to connect with people who have disabilities, because I just have that, it's natural to want to take care of and help people who, are disabled and need, the help.
Well, you ready to wrap this up?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, on that note, don't forget, if you're listening to us on YouTube, don't forget that hit high five like that. Don't forget to hit that. I want to redo that.
Yeah, it's fine.
If you're listening to this on YouTube, don't forget to high five that like button with your thumb. And if you're listening to this on any other platforms, please leave a rating. Hopefully 5 stars, around the 5 to 4 stars. And yeah, then also, no matter what way you're listening to, leave a comment down below. Any questions from me in particular, I'm really more like willing to answer any questions about like cerebral palsy or how I struggle with certain stuff, like this and that situations. Then also, if you have any good ideas for any topics that you want to hear us talk about in a future episode, please leave it down in the comments below. Then also, no matter what, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Also, don't forget to ring that metaphorical bell.
Ding.
To stay notified for upload. And yeah, no matter who you are, no matter what you are, no matter what you do, love, respect yourself. Also, love, respect others. And yeah, next time we're going on the cast. Bye.
Bye.